things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs,
Just when it seemed like the Diddy chaos couldn't get any crazier, bam, 50 Cent comes out of nowhere with a jaw-dropping claim. He might have actually saved Terrence Howard from being sucked into Diddy's wild and unpredictable world. But wait, it gets even messier. Terrence Howard has finally decided to break his silence, and he's not holding back. He's naming names and exposing how some top industry players never dared to confront Diddy directly. Instead, they were all too willing to leave their pride at the door of those infamous FO parties. Terrence says he barely escaped the chaos himself, and what comes next is where things start to spiral out of control. Allegedly, Diddy's team reached out to Terrence with a request to be part of a docu-series. Did he agree? Not exactly. From what's being whispered, Terrence and 50 Cent were supposedly planning to blow the lid off everything. Now the big question is, who actually said yes to Diddy's proposition? Huge names are being tossed around, and some of your favorite rappers could very well be on that list. This story is snowballing fast. The burning question remains, does 50 Cent really have the receipts to drop in that docu-series and expose everyone who showed up to Diddy's notorious parties? And what really went down when Diddy allegedly tried to draw Terrence Howard into one of those infamous scenes? There's a lot to unpack here. If you missed it, Terrence Howard recently appeared on the PBD podcast for an explosive interview. He didn't hold back as he revealed how some of the biggest players in the industry were all too willing to give up their integrity just to gain access to those elite, high-level gatherings. But then the whole situation got even deeper. Terrence didn't hold back, flat out saying that the same kind of shady business he'd heard about elsewhere was going on at Diddy's parties too. He hinted that plenty of celebrities walked in one way and left different. When host Patrick Bet-David brought up Justin Bieber, suggesting he might have been pulled into Diddy's twisted world, Terrence didn't deny it, not at all. In fact, he backed it up. He claimed you could see it in some of these stars' lives, how they're still carrying the weight of whatever happened back then. It's clear that whatever went down at those gatherings left lasting marks that don't fade away easily. But Terrence didn't stop there. He unleashed a bombshell. He claimed that Diddy actually made a move on him. According to Terrence, it started off pretty harmless. Diddy reached out saying he needed help fine-tuning his acting skills. Seemed innocent enough. Then, out of nowhere, Diddy started acting more interested in Terrence's music than his acting. That's when Terrence's assistant stepped in, pulling him aside and warning that something felt off. Really off. But here's the kicker. Diddy wasn't the only big player doing shady things behind closed doors. Terrence revealed he'd run into other major producers, all of them making strange, under-the-table offers. But no matter how tempting the deal seemed, Terrence made it clear he wasn't about to sell himself out. Not for anything. That decision to stay true to himself came with a heavy price. Terrence admitted he lost out on massive Hollywood opportunities. Big deals, lucrative offers, all gone. He stayed real, refused to compromise, and paid the cost for his integrity. But Terrence wasn't about to back down, not in any sense of the word. Naturally, once his interview hit the internet, social media erupted. People couldn't stop talking. Clips of Terrence's candid confessions began circulating, sparking a digital wildfire of speculation and shock. The most surprising twist? The eerie silence from nearly all the other celebrities. Aside from a few outspoken figures like 50 Cent and Cat Williams, most stars are behaving as if they've never even crossed paths with Diddy. They're keeping their heads down, pretending they have no idea what's going on. Right now, Terrence stands alone as the only major name openly claiming that Diddy made a move on him. It's a gutsy move, and all eyes are on him. Meanwhile, 50 Cent is doubling down on his plans for his upcoming documentary. When asked why he's among the few willing to speak out, 50 kept it blunt, saying it's just what he does. He keeps it real. Now, Tyrese has also joined the conversation. He posted a clip from Terrence's interview on Instagram, but instead of adding fuel to the fire, he simply wrote, "No comment. I'm staying positive. God help us all." It's a loaded statement, calm on the surface, but hinting at a deeper tension. As for 50 Cent, his version of staying positive is channeling all this Diddy drama straight into his Netflix documentary. He's promising to expose every last detail. And in true 50 fashion, the whole thing's getting extra petty. Word is, he's already reached out to Terrence Howard, inviting him to join the documentary and spill even more about Diddy's alleged attempts to lure him into one of those infamous FO sessions. Honestly, it's no surprise that 50 Cent would want Terrence on board. The two have history. 50 has backed Terrence before, especially when he spoke out about getting scammed out of millions and blackballed by major studios. The partnership makes sense, and if the rumors are true, it could take this whole controversy to an even wilder level. They've both had their fair share of run-ins with Hollywood's darker side lately. Terrence Howard has been speaking out more boldly than ever, shining a light on the inequalities and hidden agendas in the industry. But he insists it's not just about money, it goes deeper than that. Terrence believes Hollywood has been subtly trying to strip black men of their masculinity. He revealed that he was branded as difficult simply because he refused to take roles that would have him wear a dress or portray gay characters. Terrence also weighed in on Taraji P. Henson's recent comments about being underpaid as a black woman in Hollywood. His reaction? Not surprised in the slightest. He said that kind of disrespect has been going on for years. Then he pointed to his own experience on Hustle and Flow. He admitted that if he had known then what he knows now about how Hollywood operates, he might have made some very different choices. That film, released by Paramount in 2005, became a massive hit, pulling in over $75 million at the box office. But Terrence's paycheck for his lead role? A mere $12,000. That's right, 12 grand for a performance that helped make the movie an enduring classic. And Terrence isn't done talking. He says he's seriously considering suing Paramount to claim what he's owed. Not just from that film, but from a career's worth of underpaid work spanning 2 decades. And that's not the only jaw-dropper Terrence delivered. He revealed that he was only paid $6,000 for his role in Crash, a film that went on to win the Oscar for Best Picture, a huge award-winning success, and Terrence walked away with what he called peanuts. It's beyond shocking. When 50 Cent caught wind of all this, he didn't hesitate. He stepped in, offering to help both Terrence and Taraji. 50 told them to come over to G-Unit Film and TV, promising to pay them what they truly deserve. No gimmicks, no shortchanging. And now, with Terrence speaking out against Diddy, one of 50's longtime rivals, the timing couldn't be better for these two to join forces. They're both done being silent, and together they might finally pull the curtain back on all the injustice, underpayment, and shady deals. But the burning question remains, who actually said yes? Terrence didn't hold back. He bluntly stated that plenty of men in the industry willingly handed over their dignity, letting Diddy run all over them. And if you've been paying attention, you can probably guess a few of the names already swirling through the rumor mill. Insiders say 50 Cent is charging full steam ahead with his upcoming documentary, ready to shine a bright light on every name involved. So who's next on the chopping block? One name that keeps cropping up is none other than Jay-Z. And while Jay's been keeping his distance lately, acting like he and Diddy were never that close, the receipts tell a different story. Back before all the drama exploded, Diddy referred to Jay as part of his extended family. He even called him his strategist, the first person he'd turn to when things went sideways. And then there's that infamous clip. Remember when Diddy publicly claimed Jay-Z skipped his own daughter Blue Ivy's recital just so he could perform at the Bad Boy 20th anniversary show? If that's not a sign of loyalty, what is? But now Jay-Z's gone quiet, ghosting the entire situation. Sure, Jay is saying now that he and Diddy were never really tight, but how do you explain blowing off a major family event like your daughter's recital just to take the stage with someone who's supposedly not a friend? Something about that story doesn't add up. And let's not forget 2023. When Diddy hopped into the car with James Corden for a round of carpool karaoke, he dropped a big hint, saying that Jay was the only person outside his own mom who could call him by his real name. That's not exactly something you say about a casual acquaintance. On top of that, just a few months before Cassie filed her explosive lawsuit in November 2023, Diddy received the BET Lifetime Achievement Award. And who went out of their way to record a personal tribute for him? Jay-Z. These ties run deep, and as more details come to light, the once close bond between Diddy and Jay-Z is looking more and more like a pivotal piece of this ever-widening puzzle. Yep, Jay-Z. And let's be real, that's not something he does for just anyone. Oh, and don't forget the now infamous clip of Jay all oiled up and shirtless in Diddy's house, while Diddy serenades him with a rousing happy birthday. That doesn't exactly scream just industry peers, now does it? But wait, there's more. Don't sleep on The Game, who's also rumored to be featured in Tyrese's upcoming documentary. Back in 2022, The Game spilled the beans on Drink Champs, revealing that Diddy once approached him about making an album. Sounds straightforward, right? Except, for 2 entire years, no music was ever made. Instead, the game said they just traveled the globe, lived it up in luxury, and received lavish gifts from Diddy. Then, when the game appeared on Vlad TV after the Diddy allegations started making headlines, he brought it up again. He talked about those 2 years, just hanging out with Diddy, hitting party after party, especially down in Atlanta. No studio time, no tracks, just endless revelry. And if you think that's wild, it's only the beginning. Tyrese's documentary is said to have even more big names on deck. One of those names? Diddy's longtime friend and producer, Stevie J. Stevie was actually mentioned in a sensational lawsuit filed by producer Lil Rod, who claimed that Diddy openly boasted about hooking up with him. When 50 Cent called Stevie out for standing by Diddy, Stevie fired back aggressively, a little too aggressively for some. Now everyone's waiting to see how 50 Cent will address that in the documentary. There's definitely something brewing there. And then there's Machine Gun Kelly. Once signed to Bad Boy, MGK was often seen at Diddy's extravagant parties. Over the years, MGK has hinted that he saw some wild things going down around Diddy, though he's been tight-lipped about the details so far. Oh, and we can't leave out DJ Khaled and Rick Ross. According to a former staffer, Jonathan Oy, both of them have been exposed as part of the chaos. Jonathan claimed that Diddy specifically hired him for these notorious freak-off sessions, and things got even crazier when he tried to speak up. He alleges that, after contracting an STD from Diddy, he attempted to tell his side of the story. That's when Diddy, according to Jonathan, brought Rick Ross into the mix to silence him. With so many accusations and rumors swirling, it's no wonder that this story just keeps gaining traction. And if Tyrese's documentary delivers the goods as promised, it could blow the lid off a whole new layer of this already tangled drama. According to Jonathan, the party guest list was nothing short of star-studded. Diddy, Rick Ross, and DJ Khaled weren't just occasional attendees. They were regulars at those infamous off-the-chain events. And Jonathan went so far as to claim that they weren't just present. They were all personally involved in the shenanigans. Terrence Howard wasn't shy about calling it out either. He said flat out that plenty of men in the industry handed over their man card at Diddy's parties, willingly giving into the madness. And let's be honest, this might only be the tip of the iceberg. There's a long list of names still lurking beneath the surface. People who used to party hard with Diddy and now act like they never even knew the guy. If you see them playing coy now, it might be worth a second glance because the connections are too big to ignore. For now, all eyes are on 50 Cent's upcoming documentary, Diddy Do It? This docu-series promises to blow the lid off everything, bringing all the hidden players and their stories out into the open. It's not just Terrence Howard's claims that are turning heads, there's mounting speculation about who else might be exposed next. With every new detail, the anticipation grows. As we wait for the full story to unfold, one thing is clear. The Diddy saga is far from over. The questions linger, the allegations stack up, and the names keep coming. All we can do is stay tuned, and when 50's documentary drops, it's bound to be a game changer.